Hello everyone, this is Pam. I'm going to come to you today with a whole different type of video and talk to you about the leftists. This is my new book and this explains a lot about what's happening with Donald Trump right now and this impeachment. So what I'm going to talk about is their lies, and their main tactics and what's coming up next for President Trump. Now, all their tactics and what they're doing started here at Standing Rock. Let's name some of the tactics and some of the issues that came up. The white privilege card they use as a tactic. Climate change, which now we got with Linda. What is her name? Greta Thunberg, a young teenager. Racist card, women's rights. Just look at Kavanaugh, the judge. Which one do I think's coming next? Well, it's going to be something about the climate change and probably a racist. Let me tell you right now, what I don't know this for a fact. This is my opinion, but it's all an inside job that's going on there. You know, if you investigate and look up Pepsi Cola, that's what I call her. She's got a lot of money. She's got a big, huge mansion in San Francisco with all the homeless people there, of course. She just lets them be homeless. She really cares about the people, though. Porosky. From what I've been told, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think so, she gets reelected because she got a lot of backing. She got a lot of ties with the mafia. And I'll guarantee you the mafia is behind all this. Now, we think of the Godfather when we're thinking about the mafia. Well, they're not that way today. They're a corporation. They're everywhere. They're crooks. And Zelensky, I can't say his name, from Ukraine, the new president, he wanted to get rid of all these crooks, and so does Donald Trump. He wants to get rid of them all. But they're just throwing one lawsuit after another at him. And what this tactic is called diversion. And this whole thing that's going on with this impeachment, that's just silly, it's not going to happen, is a way to have them focus on Trump instead of Joe Biden. That's all. His son's a crook. It's all about oil and gold. China. It's all about oil. I'm going to read to you what I wrote 2 years ago about the oil and the problems and how this is all started. Let's see, let me go here to this page. Okay. I think I had it here. Where did I put it? It's all lies. What they did after they completed Standing Rock, they came up with these camps. Okay, here it is, the pipeline wars. And Ukraine was going to make some deals with Trump selling our oil, and this is what this is all about. The crooks want to stay in there and do what they do. And this president of Ukraine and Donald Trump are trying to do the right thing and make it right for everybody. But of course, we've got the crooks everywhere. Okay, the pipeline wars, I wrote. First, I would like to mention that U.S. is not the only place battling over pipelines, is what I wrote. Let's take Syria. The Syria war is why the Middle East is divided. This is back in 2016, I wrote this. And it's all about a pipeline's rite of passage. Fighting over that passage. However, this is another book to write about. The most mainstream media aren't talking about the world battles over gas and oil pipelines. They're happening everywhere. And there's battles going on, and Standing Rock was the start of it. Put a light on it. Okay, then I wrote, so I researched and I learned that Syria's conflicts first began in Kuwait, proposed to construct a 10,150,000 pipelines through Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Syria, and Turkey. It is that war that's similar to Standing Rock. Well, they too didn't want the pipeline going through their land either. However, honestly, who is willing to give up gas oil at this time? Nobody. As we enjoy our heaters, our air-conditioned computers and vehicles, and much more. So, we've had this oil fight going on forever, and this is all this Joe Biden and trying to impeach Trump is all about. They know what Trump's trying to do the right thing and get the right contracts up there and be legitimate about everything. And we got the crooks, we got the mafia. And of course, we must have a new name for them now. I don't know what they call them, let me know. But this is what they did after Standing Rock, and I wrote this again in my book. This is what they did, and these are the camps that are all over the place. Native Americans set up a central model camp. They're not the only ones, though. Here's a promotional advertisement to open up a new camp. It's called Good Medicine. It's a great advertisement, huh? Asking for GoFundMe money. Okay, they did. I said, welcome to the beginning of our future and what we will refer to as the Forever Project. That's what you got going on right now, the Forever Project. Forever will they be coming after Trump. Anyone, actually. Could be his son that's president next, or his daughter, or any Republican who are good people, honest people, and want to drain the swamp. They will forever be coming after you. We can put the fire out for most part. It's going to take some effort and work on all of us. However, it's still going to be a little fire going on, but it won't be as big as it is now, because we got to put a light on this and we got to stop this. So the Forever Project, they have a mission they're trying to carry out. The Good Medicine Camp has a stable format for seasonal, multicultural based camps. The upcoming camps will be listed like this, because they have camouflage names, like gambling, they name it gaming. Instead of protesters, they call themselves water protectors. See, they changed the name so it sounds good. So that they're going to call it youth leadership empowerment. They're going to get the youth involved. That's what they're doing at the colleges. Elders healing, cultural exchange, peaceful, prayerful, direct action training, survival camps, PTSD healing, decolonization practices. Camp leadership is being refined within the grassroots movements around the world. Okay. Remember what they call direct action, which that commercial, not a commercial, but there's a little video with that Greta, that young girl that's going after the climate change as a spokesperson. Yeah, let's use a kid. She says, oh my God, we're attacking children and teenagers. I don't understand it. That's a bunch of bullshit. It's another camouflage. It's another way to pull at your heartstrings, just like they did with Standing Rock, to pull you up there. If you watch my other video, I go more over how it all got started with the dog, had blood on its lip and mouth, nose and mouth, and they made you think the dog had bit somebody, but it was a Native American that had hit that dog. See, they lie and lie and lie. They turn everything around to make it look bad, and they don't care that they're lying. You know, it's just like this. Let me give you an example. If a man is a decent man, and has been all his life, and once he's accused of sexually abusing his daughter or a child, and he never has, right? It doesn't matter. He's been accused, and he's always going to be tainted with that accusation. And this is what they do. They take the innocent people, like Kavanaugh, Judge Kavanaugh, and lie about them, and taint them, and destroy their lives. That's their mission. They learn this at these camps. This is one of their tactics. Remember, okay, what they call direct action is civil disobedience. Now, what I was saying, that Greta, that 16-year-old or 14, I gotta find out how old she is, that's representing the climate change. She has a little video out with the Native Americans. They're going back and starting again, okay? They said it's time for civil disobedience. They're starting up again. You're gonna see a bunch of kids getting involved in this. It's gonna be a nightmare. Because who's gonna attack kids? They're using the children now. They're smart. Their tactics are so intelligent. Got to get a book called Inside the Criminal Mind. You're going to learn about the leftists with that book by Samina, Dr. Samina. This is their civil disobedience back at the protests. It was breaking the equipment, setting the equipment on fire, throwing rocks and glass, and forming lines to stop the police. Then I wrote in my book, again, in case you come in late in this video, why are these camps dangerous for America? First of all, these camps serve as a base to launch violent and disruptive actions against fossil fuel products, local citizens, and the law enforcement. So these are all put together like the Me Too movement and the Women's March. They learn these tactics and what to do. They're victims, and they come up with an issue, and they're supported by the man behind the curtain, the Wizard of Oz. When they hear their cry for help, they use those people to create the chaos and start something up in America to divide us. This is all they're trying to do. I wrote this in the back of my book. And I said, in this book, you discover how the Socialist Party and the leftists first learned their evil tactics, which is at Standing Rock, and it's going on right now, in their pursuit to destroy the American way of life. And that's exactly what they're trying to do here. So then I'll go on to read. They also act as radical laboratories where negative tactics are invoked. So in these little camps, they learn all this. This is a class. There's books too. What tactics to use. They're trained. They're used for young activists, call to action tactics, which enables them to drive into a full-blown direct action campaign quickly. So here we are, right now. They're using a young woman. Believe me, they approached her and got her trained, and who knows whatever they're offering her. Probably a lot of money to the family, I'm sure. Also, these camps are dangerous as they will grow a culture of civil resistance, creating a feeding ground for political extremists and eco-terrorists. I think that's next. They attract others with motives or agenda to protest against other political issues, which I just said. Their protocol, call to action, is beginning to spread everywhere. And I wrote this in 2017. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. As a way to disrupt every political challenge, from racism, the Second Amendment rights. I need to write that one down. That's right. I forgot about the Second Amendment. Oh, and the First Amendment, climate change, women's rights, and more. This type of training for civil disobedience has been going on for centuries. It is just recently that the Native Americans at Standing Rock was able to gain public attention by their protest model of terror. And now the left-wing movements adhere to a similar protest protocol from hell. So that's what you're seeing out there. It is my own belief this protest and others like this meets the criteria for a borderline personality or sociopaths. I learned from a wise friend that the majority of protesters are mostly made up of people with untreated child abuse issues and found a way or purpose to act out their abuse issues. Interesting thought. It isn't my thought that any protest based on any ugly and untruthful facts will never be successful, and they're never going to win, but they're not going to stop. They like the chaos, they like the drama, they're drawn to it. Everybody's saying, what's this Trump derangement issue? It's not a derangement. They're addicted to chaos that keeps their mind from focusing on their own feelings, because they can just attack others and focus outside of themselves. That's the psychological piece to this. I said at the end of my book, you can trust Trump will do his utmost to make America great again, with or without them. So we got out there right now. Take a look at my book. I want to write part 2. I'm not ready to do that yet, because this is exactly where it all started, where the leftist tactics started, and what's going on. Remember, some of the things that could be coming up next is the white privilege. You know, they're trying to, somebody could probably come up with suing Trump because they'll lie about him that he was prejudiced and that's why he didn't hire him, or some BS. It's always BS. There's never any truth or facts behind what they share. They don't care, like I told you. Lying about that man that was sexually abused a child is what they do. They want to taint you and make you look bad. Every person I've been talking to, excuse me. Well, when you see my shirt, got to get his shirt and wear it more. Trump, 2020, are been saying, how can you really support a man that does nothing but lie? It's ironic. They're the ones lying. They know how to make up the lie. They know how to get publicity from it. They're using a kid right now for the climate change, and there's a book you should read. It's really good about climate change, and it's called Climate Gate. That's the name of the book. I'm sitting right over there at my bookcase, but I don't want to get up and get it. But it's called Climate Gate, and he debunks, he tells you the truth about this climate change. When I first started hearing about it, I always believed climate change too. I didn't know any difference. Before I went up to Standing Rock, in fact, I didn't tell this story, I'll tell you real quick. When I called my brother and told him what was going on with this protest and this pipeline stuff, he said, Pam, there's always 2 sides to every story. I kind of got angry with him. And I said to him, what is it? My brother doesn't like Native Americans? I don't think so. I've never known him to be prejudiced, have a prejudiced bone, Well, come to find out he was right. Go up there and all they're saying is white man needs to die. And then you had the Black Lives Matter that took $200,000 for trucks they were going to buy for the Standing Rock protests and took off with it. The man that asked for GoFundMe for the veterans, he gets $1 million. He takes off with it. There's one criminal act after another with this GoFundMe money that happened up there at Standing Rock. It's unbelievable. It's all in my book. LaDonna, who's the one that started, she didn't start it. Actually, it was some teenagers that got this protest going. But LaDonna gets out there crying for people to come help them. And I call that chapter Awakening the Sleeping Warriors, because these warriors have been asleep for how many years now? And she woke them up. She woke up the Native Americans big time in the whole world. And of course, it was all about oil, and it's still about oil. This protest and them wanting to get rid of, the protests that go on and them wanting to impeach Trump. It ain't going to happen. Remember, in every movie, just leave you with this. The bad guy all throughout the movie looks like he's winning, and you're holding your hands and you're holding your seat and you're, oh God, he can't win. Well, he doesn't. Always at the end, the good guy wins. So just know that with Trump, know that our nation is under God. God is in charge. He's going to handle all this for us. Don't worry about everything, but stay out there, be vigilant, be aware that everything they're doing is based on lies, and they don't care that they're lies. Quit saying, oh my God, I can't believe people would do this. Yes, they would. They're evil. The women are the Jezebels of the world. They're the ones that have a man work 2 jobs and keep his mouth shut. And they're trying to do that in the Alcoholics Anonymous program. They're trying to bring the Me Too movement in, shut men down there too, and make AA out to be nothing but sexual offenders in the program. It's not true. I got videos on that. I'm talking about that. So what they're, just again as a reminder, they're direct action training. There's camps everywhere where they learn and they train how to do this, and they take it to their group, their agenda. Linda is one of them. I put her on the back. This is a picture of her, Linda Soror. She says, "From Palestine to Standing Rock, we are united." So I was up there and I took a whole bunch of pictures, and I saw all of them up there. What is it called? AOC +3? Yeah, they're all up there, of course. You know, maybe one or two wasn't, but I'm sure all of them. I got pictures of one of them, definitely was up there. And they're all movie stars, activists, jumped on this Standing Rock Native American protest, and they all got their agenda together, which is victims of the world, how we have never treated them right, and they're going to get even and make it right. And the white man has had all this privilege all these years. Give me a break. I've known so many white men that are still poor to this day and never got a chance to get an education or get married. And so give me a break on that one. But that sounds good, doesn't it? And then the racist, when this racist card came out, I asked my brother, I thought, I don't see any racists going on. See, I was raised in the 60s where the Los Angeles riots were going on, the Watts riots. So when I was 11 years old, I know what prejudice was. And I knew back then that they didn't like our beautiful black people. We do today. There's no prejudice. But they're going to come up with old stuff that doesn't exist anymore and reawaken it and make it there. It's like going to a laboratory, and in a little jar there's a disease. So they go into this laboratory and they say, well, what disease can we pull out today and spread it all over the United States again? Infect the United States again with our lies. They don't care who they're hurting. It's all about oil. Bottom line, it goes back. You watch this. It's about money. And it's about the mafia that we don't call mafia anymore. I don't know who's the godfather, who's the man behind the curtain. Probably Soros. You guys know more than I do. It's just my guessing more than anything. But I'm not stupid, because you watch things and you learn. And it's a no-brainer who's behind this. Not exactly who's behind this, but it's pretty close to knowing who. And it's pretty, what's the word? It's pretty easy for all of us that love Trump to see that they're doing all this, and we already know they're lying. It just appalls us that they're doing this to lie. To get our goat. Don't let them win. There's a book called Nasty People by J. Carter. Go read that book. It talks about how to defend yourself against these people without becoming like them. Because we're not like the lefties at all. Not at all. We love our country. We love God. We love our neighbor. We love everyone. We care about everyone. Do you know, if you look it up, that it's the Republicans that give to charity and not the leftists? They're nothing but what they are is like an apple that looks really good, because they look and sound really good. They can convince you. There's even a pill out there that they say you take it and an alcoholic won't want to drink. Oh, that sounds great too, doesn't it? But not for a real alcoholic. But they present things in such a wonderful way, you get convinced and you go buy it, right? It's like an apple. But inside that apple is poison. Don't trust them. Don't trust them. You can't. They're too far gone. Right now we got a bunch of them out there doing all sorts of crazy things. It's going to be really rough for a while. Hold on to your principles, your morals, your beliefs in God, and know that it will quiet down. It always does. Every generation, it goes away.